everyone and welcome to KYE Talks. I am Sonal Ambekar, your host for this interview. Know Your Entrepreneur is a digital platform where we talk to several entrepreneurs who tell us why they chose not to be stuck to the regular 9 to 5, but they went ahead and did something different. They went ahead and changed their path. One such entrepreneur we will be talking to today is Mr. Jaison Thomas. He is the co-founder of Blusteak Media. Located at Kottayam, Kerala, they have worked with national and international clients across 4 continents. With a team of 20 members, they provide A to Z services for digital marketing. That's amazing. Welcome, Jaison.
Thank you, Sonal, for the interview. Yeah.
No problem. So, Jaison, tell us about yourself and how did this journey about starting your own enterprise or becoming an entrepreneur? How did it start? What was your motivation?
So if you had called me and told my maybe 15 or 16 year old self that I would be an entrepreneur, I wouldn't believe that. I had no such intention to become an entrepreneur. So it actually happened to me. Like to be exact, me and my brother, when we got into the internet, when we got internet connection, we really like looking at memes and everything that was like funny in the internet, and that's how we really fell in love with the internet. And then we thought that we should also be making these memes and everything, and that's how me and my brother started some meme pages. And one of them really got good traction, and the name of that page was Dude. And it went on to get more than 4.4 million followers on Facebook.
Wow.
And I'm talking about like 2016, 2015 time. And this is pre-Geo era, when no bandwidth of internet. So it was like one of the biggest meme pages in India at that time, for sure. So that's how we really understood how the internet works, and then we launched an app for that called Dude app. And it got more than. Sorry.
There's an app for memes.
Yeah, at that time we decided that we shouldn't be sticking on to Facebook, and we thought that we should launch an app for memes, so that people can.
Okay, so this was the pre-Instagram era. I think 2015 was still when Facebook was getting more traction than Instagram, right?
Absolutely. I'm also talking about Bluesteak era also, before we started this agency thing.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you about the history of the things,
Yeah.
Then we decided that we should launch an app, and we launched it, and within the first month itself we got 50,000 downloads. Wow. But unfortunately, we didn't know how to manage that much amount of traffic.
Right.
Our developer failed to do that, and it crashed. We failed. We had a failed attempt in creating an app, to be honest.
Okay.
And
50,000 downloads is something. I mean, you can't really call it a failure also.
Yeah. So we also got some kind of rewards from Facebook also to so that to grow the app. Wow. Something around $28,000 in terms of free tools.
That's
from Facebook. That's how we initially got that experience, hands-on experience on digital marketing and internet marketing. And then we thought that we should we understood that a lot of brands needed this to grow their business online, and many people didn't even know the basics of digital marketing, or how Facebook worked, or how Google worked, etc. So then eventually we decided to take a workshop for business people, to let them know how they can also take advantage of this.
Ease them into the new era that digitalization was.
Yeah, the workshop's name was Swipe Up.
Wow.
So
I thought it's like a thing now.
Yeah. So that's, and by accident we got our first client from that workshop itself, as an agency. And in between, the page got banned from Facebook because Facebook had new policies and etc. of not promoting other websites through our Facebook. And these were the times when I was still a student. I was doing my first year or second year of engineering, and we were getting like 2 lakhs rupees per month at that time.
My God, that's wonderful. What happened after the page was banned, after Facebook banned the page? Because losing so many followers, because right now having followers in the category of millions is a huge achievement on social media. But you had it back then, and losing it all. How was the entire experience, and how did you, I don't know, deal with it?
So basically, we knew that it would happen because anyways, Facebook wasn't owned by us, right? Zuckerberg has a list of rules and everything. Facebook had their business interests. So, anyways, it's not if Facebook. We were teenagers back then, and some of the memes were offensive, and it might not be compliant with Facebook policies.
Appropriate is what they must have found. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we didn't knew about that, and eventually it happened. But that wasn't a huge, depressive moment. It was sad because it was like 2 to 3 years of effort, putting out, creating 5 to 6 memes per day, etc., and also hiring 2 of my friends to do that at that time. And it was really a great ride, and we learned a lot of stuff. So I will not regret losing that account because it pushed us to another level and not to keep on making memes. We learned a lot from that side, and it was time to move on to a serious business. So I would call it a learning phase, not something that I would be sad about all the time.
That is how Blusteak Media started. Right?
Then we decided that, hey, let's start an agency. Let's help brands build their social media also. Why not? So that's how me and my brother.
Yeah, I think when Blusteak Media started 3 years back, and I think that was the right time for because people were starting to understand what the power of social media was, but to navigate their way through it was a little difficult because it was all very new. So at that time, it was like hitting the nail when the iron's hot. It was very nicely thought, very nice.
Yeah.
So Jaison,
that was when Jio also introduced this incredibly affordable packages, right? Before that, to have 1 GB of internet connection, you needed to pay at least 150 rupees, right? Something like that. And only people under 25 years old or 30 years old were doing
right. They could afford it, and only they had the means to reach to that social media, or I don't know, they were exposed, only they had that kind of exposure to social media. It all makes sense now that you said. So my next question, Jaison, would be, what is it that gives you a sense of accomplishment now being an entrepreneur and having 3 years expertise or experience of, teaching others to manage their social media and how to market themselves on a digital platform. So what gives you that sense of accomplishment? What gets you going every day?
It's I like to think about it in terms of impact that I'm making, right? So currently we, except us 3 co-founders, we are employing 18 people right now. So, and that's a huge accomplishment. And I'm only 23-year-old, and at the age of 23 years, employing 18, for at least 18 people is a huge impact that I'm seeing. And then apart from that, day in and day out, we are solving problems for the client. We are helping the client reach their business goals. We are trying to make an impact in the industry with thinking out of the box about how to get to that particular, how to solve that particular problem, how to get to that result for the client. And it's all, for me, it's all about impact, how much impact that I as a person can make in other people's business, and get them positive results. And it's also really fun to see that you have an idea, or your team has an idea, a small idea, and you nurture it and you present it to the client. The client likes it, and we execute it as a team. And suddenly you see the results that you are hoping to, sometimes even better. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it's a failure is a part of thing. Sometimes even our ideas gets rejected. It's a challenge, day in, day out, it's a challenge. And it's whatever an entrepreneurship has, it brings it to the table. So it stretches me a lot.
Yeah. So since you mentioned about the challenges, I would like to ask you, as you started Bluesteak Media, as your journey of being an entrepreneur started, there must have been certain issues that you faced when you were in the beginning phase of it, and even going throughout now where you reach. So there must have been certain challenges and issues you must have faced, obstacles maybe. So how did you overcome them?
So initially it was about getting clients, right? Getting the right clients. There would be some clients who would be willing to work with us, but wouldn't be interested that much in, they wouldn't believe in the power of social media. They wouldn't believe in the power of internet.
Yeah.
They would always think about, hey, this is something extra that I'm doing. It doesn't need that much attention. So eventually that, after COVID, that didn't even, that was like not even happening, because, internet was the first place to go to for marketing or anything right now. So that eventually cleared out, and we also gained a lot of traction via our branding activities, and in our works we also were getting a lot of leads, and none of our clients were leaving us during the pandemic issue or anything. So I myself saw a lot of digital marketing agencies closing down during this period. And I think basically that's because of thinking not in a result-oriented manner.
You provide, and maybe your integrity is what kept your clients, still stuck with you. They did not leave you. And since COVID was one time when everything, the outside world was shut, and the only thing that was actually working was the internet. It was this dimension that was always working, even though there was COVID and everything else was shut. So a lot of people in the interviews that we take, they realize the power of social media. Like we said, people earlier they underestimated the power of it, but due to COVID, they kind of realized that even sitting at home, if you can market so much about your business, and if you do it the right way, which you are trying to, make people aware of, the right way of going about it. They realize that once they find the right way, then they know how to grow their business even better. So, like you said,
yeah, that is one thing. The second thing is scaling up the business, right? Initially, me and my brother or my partner were involved in making campaigns, or we were hands-on doing everything our own. So now currently we are scaling up our team. The number of people are increasing. The biggest challenge that we are facing is to trust them with the process. Sometimes we feel that they wouldn't be doing as much as perfect as how we did it. But the challenge of delegating it to them, trusting them, and training them, and letting them execute their own ideas, that's a huge challenge, and we haven't yet fully found out the solution to that. But that's a challenge that we are facing, and hopefully it will get solved eventually.
It all works out with time. So, what do you think, Jaison? Now, given that COVID has affected a lot of businesses, by God's grace, it didn't affect much of your business. But then, at this point, when the world is a little uncertain sometimes, what do you think are the factors that may help you achieve your business aspirations?
Okay. I wouldn't say that COVID was a wonderful thing to happen. We were lucky to be in the better end of that. Many people, many businesses, many even small business that was hurt the worst. So yeah, that is there. And one thing that COVID taught everyone is that everything is uncertain, right? You cannot predict everything to happen as perfect as planned. So that would be there. The uncertainty thing is a part of life. There's nothing much about it. What you can do is that you have to think about the things that you can have direct control on. If you have a goal, think about the things that you have direct control on. Don't need to worry about what will go wrong apart from that you have no control over, right? Anyways, life is going to happen. Something is going to happen. Something is going. If something is about to go wrong, it will go wrong. Right. And anyway, there will be obstacles, but you need to focus on what you can you have direct control over. something like you can wake up 1 hour earlier. You can have a habit,
a little more harder, yeah, and focus more on what you're doing. Right.
Yeah, you can set up different types of habits
Right.
to reach that goal. Yeah, you need to only focus on the things that you have direct control over.
Right. Right. Very well said. So, how would you say that this venture, after you started it, has changed you? Because, like you said, when your meme page on Facebook got shut, there were certain things that you learned from it also, which is why you call it a learning page. So that is how that meme page shutting down or even having it, that is how that changed you. But how has this venture, having being the entrepreneur, being the owner of Bluesteak Media, how has that changed you as a person?
It's about, initially it's about not letting go of your ego, right?
Yeah.
Letting go of your, the biggest challenge working as an agency owner or an agency is that you'll have a lot of ideas, and that might not, when you put it out into the market, people wouldn't resonate with that. Your ego is going to hurt the most.
Right.
And
so you have to
the
be
second thing is
humble,
that,
and yeah, of course, you learn humility as you go ahead.
Yeah. Your rejection is a part of the game. So it's like, The second thing is that, it's about self-management. There is no boss above me who is telling on a day-to-day basis about what to do, what not to do. If I'm not motivated enough to work for myself, I wouldn't do it. So, to have that, deep, passion inside me is critical to keep it awake. So that's a huge challenge to motivate me myself every day to do things and to grind.
Since it's your own business, you make the rules, but then it's also important that you are disciplined yourself to also follow your own rules. That is like you said.
Exactly.
So, heading towards the end of our interview, Jaison, what would be your message to our audience, or say words of wisdom that you would like to share with the budding entrepreneurs out there who may have idea, but they're scared to take that step? What would you say?
Yeah. So ideas won't become an actions as long as you don't do it, right? So I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs, talking to me, pinging me on LinkedIn about certain ideas and why they are not being able to get to that. It's all about doing, right? As fast, if you get an idea, just think about how you can start executing it and try it out. You miss the 100% of shots that you don't take, right? You miss everything that you don't take. So if you have any opportunity, or if you sense any opportunity, or if you sense some ideas, just take a shot out of it. If you think that qualifies for your effort, and then I also do the same, right? I take like 50 shots, and maybe 5 of them would be fruitful, and those 5 will be really soothing.
But you never know if you don't take the step. And if you don't try it out, you will just never know the outcome.
Absolutely. And the second thing is to thinking long terms. If I start doing something today as a habit, don't think that in the next month I'll get the result. My thought is like, after 12 years, what is going to change? If I start doing this particular thing today, how will it affect after 7 to 10 years?
Having that far-sightedness. Yeah. Very well said, Jaison. Thank you for coming here, sharing your journey with us, and sharing your ideologies about how, I mean, in a way, entrepreneurship is a journey that also teaches you how to, excel at life. There are certain qualities that you need. If you marvel over here, then maybe it will help you get through life also in a much better path. Very well. So, thank you for coming here, joining with KYE, and giving your time to us for this interview.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it very much. Yeah.